A few weeks ago, I was so lucky because I went into 2 niche perfumeries and they had all of the new releases out, so I could smell all of them. And today I wanted to share with you what I think about them, if I think they are a smash or a pass for me, and if I consider purchasing them. So the first one is the anticipated Kirky by MFK. And this one has the main accords of fruity, sweet, and musky. And I did tell you in another video that I was so interested to try it because it seemed so different from all of the other perfumes that he has in his line. The top notes are raspberry and peach, the middle notes are gummy, candies, and fruity notes, and the base notes are white musk and vanilla. I love that for him because his perfumes usually are very serious. The more fresh ones are very clean laundry like smelling, and the others are quite dense, mysterious, nighttime fragrances. And this one sounded so playful and like something completely different. And I did wear it, though I was in a very big perfumery and I smelled a lot of perfumes already, and this one was really hard for me to even smell. I had to spray this time and time again to really make sure that this is what the fragrance smells like, or this is the intensity that it gives, because it was so skin-like from the get-go on my skin. So I did try it on my skin, and it was a very pleasant, cozy, quite creamy sweet smell. To me, it was like a fruity skin scent, but it was really soft from the get-go. And this is not very MFK like. I mean, if you look at Baccarat Rouge, that is a very light and airy scent as well, but the lasting power is days or weeks, it seems, or like an oud satin mood, or even the fresh perfumes like Aqua Universalis and so on and so forth. They are very strong perfumes, and this one is the opposite. So it's the opposite in all of the aspects. It's very playful and sweet and cozy. It's very quiet. It doesn't really have longevity or sillage. It's something completely different, and I think that threw a lot of people off because they're not used to scents like that from him. And I think a lot of people like the DNA, but not for the price, and that is the question. So I haven't really made up my mind about it because I did like it, but I don't know if it would stand out in comparison to other perfumes in my collection enough to purchase a bottle, but I will let you know. The second one was from Blendergraphy, and this perfume house I never heard about before, but when I went to this perfumery, the employee said that this is like a great brand and I should try them out, and they're all inspired by cocktails, and they all come in like a shaker bottle, which is not really my vibe. So I wasn't too intrigued by the bottles, the bottle design. For me, it's okay, but it's not me in a bottle. And also in a shaker, it's like, okay, it's like a nice idea, but I don't really think I need that. But I tried all of their perfumes and I was impressed by most of them. They were really my style. So the sales associate was like, I know what you like. She was really good. So the main accords are citrus, sweet, and aromatic. And let me tell you, this perfume, it smells so good. The top notes are mandora, orange, and tangerine. The middle notes are milk, chocolate, caramel, heliotrope, and vanilla. And the base notes are gin, vermouth. Is that how you pronounce that drink? Isoe Super, spices, and ambroxan. And this, people say it smells like a Tootsie Roll and Carmex. These are not scents that I'm used to, so I don't know what that means. But to me, this was, I mean, Carmex is like such a sharp smell, right? This is not sharp at all. This was so good. It was like very sweet, citrusy, juicy fruits with those gourmand touches from the chocolate and the caramel. But then you have this green freshness that almost leans a little bit bitter from the drinks, the cocktail accords, together with the Isoe Super and the Ambroxan. It made it a little bit more modern and long-lasting and more powerful, even though this is not a beast mode scent. It's not, but it's not a cozy skin scent. It was just the right amount of sillage that I got. Really nice. The first, I would say, 5 minutes of the perfume were my favorite. I was like, oh my god, I have to get this perfume. Once it dried down, it was nice, but for me, a lot of times I like perfumes in the top, and as they dry down, I still like them, but they change so much that they morph into something that I already have in my collection. A lot of times I have that feeling, and so that is when I'm like, okay, I like the opening, but the base I'm not really impressed by, just because I have perfumes like the base. But I think I have to really test it out thoroughly and see if I like the base maybe enough to get a bottle, because this one really was super nice and just right up my alley. Then I think I told you before that I went into a department store and they were just about to close. So all of these sales associates from the perfume counters came together and they tested out the new Born to Stand Out fragrances, which are blood red. And you cannot even really read what the name is. It's really funny, but I love the bottle. And I tested out Oud Candy, Guava, is it just Guava? Black Guava, and the Black Mango perfume, as well as something else, but these were the ones that I remember. So Oud Candy was actually my favorite. The main accords are sweet, woody, and oud, and it has a lot of notes. I'm not gonna read out all of the notes, but it has sweet notes, brown sugar, milk, nutty notes, oud, leather, saffron, Ambroxan. And funnily enough, this was the most suave, smooth, most quiet one. It reminded me a little bit of Oud Nude by Guerlain from the Privé line. It was really nice and surprising, because Born to Stand Out can be very in your face and loud and sharp. And this one seemed like not something I would enjoy at all, because oud and candy, I thought it would give me like oud maracuja and all of those fruity oud perfumes vibe, but it did not. It was very gourmand, like a gourmand type of oud. I love Oud Nude by Guerlain, and I also love the Sweetie Oud by Roja, and it's the same vibe. It's oudy, it's Arabic smelling a little bit, but also Western enough to be palatable for other people, but it's not in your face. It's not super loud. It's very creamy, very smooth and sweet, but not too much. So this one was really nice. I do have these two other perfumes I just talked about, so I don't really need it, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. The other two, I'm gonna be really quick, to me smelled a lot like each other, especially once they dried down. So yeah, they were also not my thing. So Black Guava is a perfume with the main accords of fruity, tropical, and fresh, which I don't really agree with. We have notes like guava, oud, peony, amber, cypriol, patchouli. And then the mango one, Black Mango, has the main accords of tropical, sweet, and fruity. And it has a lot of mango in here, tolo balsam, cypriol, oud, leather. So to me and to a lot of people, they both have this thing that reminds me of Oud Maracuja by Maison Crivelli, or Mango Oud by Gritti. So basically very juicy fruits with very earthy notes in combination. And as you may know, that is the opposite of what I like on my skin. I just think it does not really work on my skin. I don't like it on me. And with the guava one, the first seconds you get this burst of guava, which is so nice. And I mean, when do we smell guava? It's like such a special note that not a lot of people use. And also I feel like it's very delicate. It's very hard to get a guava that you really do detect and also that stays. And for this perfume, I smelled the guava in the top, and as it dried down, it went into a more generic fruity scent, and I did not really get the guava. And the mango from the Black Mango is, for me, again, this very pungent, synthetic smelling mango, and also in combination with not patchouli, but cypriol, oud, and leather is almost more intense than just patchouli. And the combination is not my thing at all. I do get the mango from top to base, but it's just not what I crave. So they do fit into Born to Stand Out, but I would say one of those would have been enough. And then in the same department store, they had like a new stand with Akigala Mandarino by New Notes. And this is a perfume house I don't really hear a lot of things about, and I did not hear about this perfume before, but I smelled it and it was the same effect that I had with the Blender perfume. I loved the top. As it dried down, I still liked it, but it went into a direction that I know from a lot of perfumes that I have in my collection. The main accords are fruity, citrus, and oud. And this one has notes like mandarin, apple, jasmine, freesia, and then akigala wood and amber. And akigala wood is a more synthetic, also more synthetic smelling note that I think a lot of people don't really enjoy. I think it depends on your skin chemistry. On me, it works. And especially in the top, I did not really get it. It was a very smooth, interesting perfume. In the top, you had those crispy, juicy fruits with those very smooth florals. I mean, it's very white floral heavy, right? But these florals in here were so smooth and so even buttery, it seemed, together with this very warm amber, which wasn't too much. It wasn't too dense. It was very creamy and smooth and really likable, very enjoyable. But as I said, as it dried down, it got into a direction that wasn't too sensational for me and was something that I liked a lot. But I was like, oh, I have perfumes like it in my collection that smell a lot like it and that dry down on my skin. But as with a lot of perfumes I just talked about, I have a first impression, but it's nice enough that I think I have to get a second impression of it. On that same day, they had the new Bois Pacifique by Tom Ford on display. And this one is from their more inexpensive line, not the Privé line, let's say. I'm not too sure if they had it in the other line before, because a lot of times that's what they do. They have it in the Privé line and then they reintroduce it in the more inexpensive line. And a lot of times they make it a little bit more long lasting and potent, which is interesting to me. And this one has main accords of woody, warm, spicy, and amber. And it says that it's for men, and I would say it is. Some people say they feel like it's very unisex and warm and cozy. On my skin, it was not very unisex. I would say it's maybe unisex leaning towards masculine. We have notes like cardamom in here, akigala wood again, turmeric, frankincense, oak, cedar, amber, vanilla. But we also have iris. And that seems really nice. When I saw the notes, I was like, oh, this seems really nice. Iris, sandalwood, frankincense, vanilla. Seems like very resinous and sweet and creamy and smooth. And it is a very nice scent, but to me, it leaned quite bois, quite woody, and even a little bit fresh and soapy from the cardamom, I think. So this one, I immediately showed my husband because I was like, this I would like on you. This is really, really nice and not too sharp. I think a lot of times when they do this thing where they have a perfume that they reintroduce to the more inexpensive line, it's a little bit too much for me, sometimes a little sharp. And this one was on the verge for me, but not quite there yet. So I really did enjoy it. And on the other side of that store, they had Eladaria by Creed. And this one has the main accords of rose, musky, and powdery. And I enjoyed this one a lot. So with Creed, I enjoy a lot of their men's launches, but for the women, especially those fresh floral scents, they tend to be a little bit too much for me. And this one was just the right amount. It still smelled like a Creed elegant floral perfume, but it had the smooth, more quiet touches that I enjoy in my fragrances. It has notes like mandarin, rose, powdery notes, but also peony and lily of the valley. And the base is ambroxan, musk, cashmere wood, and vanilla. This one to me is a very watery, quite light rose scent. It was quite fresh. It had something green in there. It's a little powdery. It's very soft and rose, like rosé smelling to me. It reminded me of A la Rose by MFK, or like Mistior, all of the flankers like Rock and Roses or just Roses. They have a lot of flankers. Rose and Roses, yeah, Rose and Roses. Those types of perfumes, or Blouse by Yves Saint Laurent. Those perfumes that are quite watery, rosy. You do have to like rose scents, but this one to me seemed a little bit more light and fluffy in comparison to other more dense rosy scents. And this one is definitely one that I would wear. I don't know if I need it because I don't wear rose scents a lot, but it's really nice. So these were my first impressions on those new releases. Let me know if you've tried any of them and what you think of them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.